What is up, and welcome to SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm your host, Britton Hess. I'm here with my favorite Underdog Fantasy Pick'em plays for Tuesday, September 24th, 2024. If you're new to Underdog Fantasy, sign up with promo code DailyDog. That's DAILYDOG at UnderdogFantasy.com for a 50% deposit match bonus worth up to $1,000. All right, man, Monday Night Football, brutal. Brutal for one reason. Gabe Davis, my guy who I had info on, being featured in the game plan. He killed our show slip. Our show slip was going to a 12.15x. We needed him to score a touchdown in that game against his former team, the Bills. I had on good authority that he was going to be a featured part of the game plan. He was a featured part of the game plan, but the problem was Trevor Lawrence stinks. The offense for the Jags is completely uninspiring, and it was just a terrible, terrible showing for the Jags. They were never in that game. They were down big early. They never really were competitive. Trevor Lawrence, I've been calling him Trevor Trubisky for a while. He's Trevor Trubisky until further notice. The dude is so overrated. He's paid like a elite quarterback. He was drafted like an elite quarterback. He has hardly showed anything elite outside of his frame and measurables as a quarterback. But it is what it is. Shout out to Duvall for being kind of good fans for not being a very popular team overall. But man, that was a rough one to watch. The other two picks yesterday, James Cook touchdown. He was actually the first touchdown scorer of the game. So that one was crossed off the list early. Terry McLaurin higher than 3.5 receptions, also crossed off the list pretty early. He got featured in the passing game downfield for the first time all season. That was awesome to see. All right, that was yesterday. This is today. Let's get into today's show. We're going to start out with a Thursday night football slip. We're going to get some of the stuff in early because these numbers are going to change by the time this game goes off on Thursday. This is the Cowboys at the Giants. I actually think the Cowboys are in some trouble here. I think the Giants can win this game easily. I actually think the Giants have the two best losses in the NFL, losing to the Commanders, who aren't that bad, and the Giants probably would have won that game if they actually had a kicker. And then losing to the Vikings. Vikings are one of the top teams in the NFC. I mean, there's no real way about it or around it. They kicked the butt of the 49ers. They've just been taking care of business left and right. So I do think that the Giants are live in this game, and my slip that I'm releasing on this Tuesday for our Thursday Night Football game does reflect the fact that I think the Giants are live. So we're going to do Dak Prescott higher than 0.5 interceptions. I love 10-1 anytime defensive TD from the New York Giants defense special teams, by the way, in sports betting land if you're into that type of thing. But as far as underdog slips go, Dak Prescott higher than 0.5 interceptions. I think they're going to be down in this game. I think they're going to be desperate. I think they're going to have to try to force the ball downfield. And I think the Giants, they're not elite secondary, but they have some guys. They can make some plays. A tip ball as well, because I think the D-line is going to have some success against this Cowboys O-line. Next, we're going to go to Malik Nabers, higher than 0.5 touchdowns in this game. Malik Nabers' target numbers are insane. He had 12 targets last week, and that was down from 18 the week prior. He's had 30 targets in the last 2 weeks. Preseason, I was on Malik Nabers lower than 940.5 receiving yards on Underdog. That one is going to be a dead loser. My reasoning was Daniel Jones isn't good enough to get him the ball enough to hit 940.5 yards and get up near 1,000. He's just not going to be efficient enough. Well, he doesn't need to be that efficient when he's going to get close to 15 targets per game. If he's getting 15 targets per game, he only needs to catch about a third of them, and he's going to get 940 yards receiving this year. The toe tap catches he was making on Sunday were amazing. Malik Nabers is going to score against Big D at home here. This Giants team is invigorated. They definitely have some confidence. Yes, the Cowboys kind of made it a game versus Baltimore on Sunday, but that is not going to cut it. So they still lost, so it's not like they can take a ton out of that. I think that Malik Nabers is going to perform, and I think the Cowboys are in trouble. Additionally, I think Brandon Aubrey, the kicker for the Cowboys, is going to hit higher than 1.5 field goals in this game. I think that that's the result of a struggling offense. I don't necessarily think that I think that the Giants can win this game, and I think they can get up early, but I don't think it's going to be like 21-0 where the Cowboys can forego field goals in the red zone. I'm going to take Aubrey higher than 1.5 field goals made here. He's obviously got a big leg. He can kick it in from anywhere. So let's go Brandon Aubrey. These three picks together, Dak Prescott higher than 0.5 interceptions, Malik Nabers higher than 0.5 touchdowns, and Brandon Aubrey higher than 1.5 field goals made for 6.59x multiplier. That is going to be the early Thursday Night Football slip, and we will be adding more slips throughout the week. We'll have one on Wednesday. We'll have one on Thursday morning before that game actually takes place. All right, MLB vibe slip. You know I love these MLB vibe slips. Just kind of what I'm feeling in MLB. We hit one on Thursday of last week. That was like 8x. So we got a little bit of vibes runway here. I don't know if you noticed during Monday Night Football, but the Phillies won their division yesterday. Teams that win their division aren't usually coming out firing the next day. They're usually out that night partying and drinking and everything else. So I'm taking lower than 1.5 total bases for Bryce Harper against Justin Steele and the Cubs. I think Harper could, maybe take 1 or 2 at bats and then maybe rest in this one. Just the Phillies aren't really going to care about this game. This is actually a good money line spot for the Cubs. I mean, the Cubs do stink, so they still could lose, especially if like Schwarber, Trey Turner, or even Harper. If these guys kind of get some big hits early in this game, I don't know if the Cubs will come back. But just on principle, I'm going to be fading some Phillies in various ways on various apps today, because Bryce Harper, again, these guys were out partying last night. It's without a doubt they were partying. It was the first division championship for the Phillies since 2011. Next, we are going to go to Jurickson Profar higher than 0.5 total bases against the Dodgers. Simply put, this number is just too low. Half of a total base for Jurickson Profar, the switch hitter, the guy who's having the best year of his career in a very, very important divisional game against the Dodgers. Way too low. Profar, Landon Knack doesn't scare anybody, and also Profar switch hitter, good matchups versus anybody out of the Dodgers pen, which has been hit or miss and injured lately as well. Way too low. Get this one early because by the time this game goes off later tonight, Profar is going to have a very, very much reduced juice, 0.5 total base number, or it's going to be up at 1.5 total bases. Speaking of half total base, Juan Soto higher than half total base versus Dean Kramer and the Orioles. Kramer, not a very impressive pitcher, if you ask me. And Soto, yes, he walks a ton. It's so annoying. But this is only half a total base. We just need him to get a single, a double, a home run, a triple, anything. Just please, Juan Soto, do not do that thing where you walk 15 times and then strike out looking because you're, trying to call the balls and strikes for the umpire. Just get a knock here. Important divisional game. I guess semi-important divisional game. The Yankees have already clinched the playoffs. There's a slight chance the Orioles could push them for the division. But if the Yankees can slam the door in this game right here. Last one, Shohei Ohtani, stolen base. Dude's still chasing history. He's still getting on the vibe slip for stolen bases, and he's still going to be on the Dong squad. Spoiler alert. So this MLB vibe slip, Bryce Harper lower than 1.5 total bases, Jurickson Profar higher than 0.5 total bases, Soto higher than half a total base, and Shohei with the stolen base is 10.54x, so plus 954 in sports betting terms. Very good value on this one, especially when you just need a knock out of Soto and Profar. That is great value. And also, I'll just say Profar's got a hit in 13 out of his last 15 games. I can't believe he's just a single total base against Landon Knack and the Dodgers here. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to the Dong squad. These are my home run picks for this Tuesday, September 24th. Aaron Judge versus Dean Kramer. Dean Kramer still stinks. Aaron Judge still awesome. Give me Aaron Judge there. Shohei versus Michael King. Kind of a tough matchup. Michael King's pretty good. Shohei's the best hitter in the NL. Not even close. Probably in all of baseball. I mean, obviously you can argue for different metrics and say, Judge is better or whatever. But Shohei is good. Shohei is my favorite hitter to watch. And I don't care if he's going against, prime Nolan Ryan. I think Shohei's going to have a shot to get a dinger versus him. So give me Shohei Ohtani versus Michael King. Last one, final days of Oakland. The Athletics are about to shut down that park and move out of town, allegedly going to Las Vegas, but we'll see. Give me Lawrence Butler to get a home run versus Nathan Eovaldi. Nathan Eovaldi is pretty good, but he gives up hard contact. When he misses, it's usually catastrophic, and Lawrence Butler is a dude that can punish anybody. This Dong squad flex slip, Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, and Lawrence Butler is 36.52x if it goes 3 out of 3. If it goes 2 out of 3, it's just 6.3x. Again, we got 3 slips today. Thursday Night Football, Dak Prescott, interception. Malik Nabers, touchdown. Brandon Aubrey, higher than 1.5 field goals for 6.59x. MLB vibes, Bryce Harper, lower than 1.5 total bases. Jurickson Profar, higher than 0.5 total bases. Juan Soto, higher than half a total base. And Shohei Ohtani, stolen base for 10.54x. And the Dong squad, Aaron Judge, higher, or Aaron Judge home run, Shohei Ohtani home run, Lawrence Butler home run. 3 out of 3 is 36.52x, and 2 out of 3 is 6.3x. That's all I've got for you today. Let's make some money.